நீ எடுத்து ஒரே கஷ்டம் என்ன சொல்றேன் பண்ண முடியல அவர் தான் பண்ணுவார். அவர் எப்ப கால் பண்ணி தான் பண்றாரு. பண்ணதுக்கு மேல யார் கிடைக்கும்? அதான் யார் வந்து வாங்க போறா?
Good morning to one and all. On behalf of Ryan Publishers, I would like to welcome all the participants for today's webinar. And I would also like to welcome our resource person. And the session is now hand over to our technical assistant, Ms. Gayatri. Ms. Gayatri, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
Kindly start the session.
Okay. A very good morning to one and all gathered here. I now request everyone to mute your mic and switch off the video to avoid any kinds of inconvenience. Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Gayatri Kannamma, and on behalf of Ryan Publishers, it's my greatest pleasure in welcoming you all to today's one-day international webinar on the topic, Communicative Skills. The participants can post your queries and clarifications in the chat box, and I would also like to inform that the feedback form for today's webinar would be posted in the chat box. And for your kind information, there are limitations to the number of certificates that can be generated per day. So we appreciate your patience and cooperation in getting the e-certificates for the webinar. It's now time to get into the session, and joining with us today is Dr. G.V.Kumar. Welcome, sir. Dr. G.V.Kumar is currently a health psychologist. He has various educational and professional qualifications. Our resource person has also been a consultant psychologist and has also great corporate training experiences. Dr. G.V.Kumar has been an active social activist and has also conducted professional training workshops. He has received awards like Lifetime Achievement Award, Training Excellence Award, and has also been certified as a corporate trainer. We are extremely delighted to have you amidst us. Thank you very much for joining us for the session today, sir. The session is now yours. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Nice meeting you all. In the midst of a lot of pandemic, all other things, we are meeting today online. And I appreciate our Ryan Publishers and their technical super team to organize beautifully the programs. So today we are going to have on communicative skills. You know very well, excellently you know very well that all the things which you want to do is your communications. Even your human beings are in need. They are on needs. So if the needs to be communicated, then only you can able to go with your life. See, when you want to survive, if you are not communicative, you cannot survive. Once you know how to survive, then only you can able to succeed in your life, in your personal life or professional life. So this is how it all depends upon how do we communicate. There are two types of communications. It happens every micro milliseconds, even you can say the nanoseconds. The internal communication and external communications. Internally, we keep on talking to ourselves, the person inside our self. Sometimes he dominates, sometimes you dominate. It's all that. So whatever you want to do, that decides when you communicate to the internal person, that decides should we continue or should we discontinue. All that is. External communications always with the other team of members, the micro team or macro team, whatever it is. So this is how it all basic things. And I don't want to go more on theory, because theory what it says when we do your MBA, when you do your organizational behavior, when you do your human resource management, all that is a communication. There is one paper is there. The whole paper consists of what is communication, what is communication process, what is communication function, and what is the factors to improve communications, and about barriers towards communication, how to overcome the barriers of communication. These are all theory. I hope everybody, sometimes some of the experts should be in the team. They know better than me also. So I'm yet to learn from them. So I don't want to go on more on theory. So it is about on, I would like to go with more on like sessions, lively sessions. And I need all your people participation and interactions, all that. Either you can put in the chat box or whatever it is. So these are the small introduction about me. And I don't want to go on more on theory, right? So we will go with our things. You know the meaning of communication, process, function, all that. If you want, I will send the what prepared. I have communicative skills PowerPoint. I send it to our Ryan, our organizers, and you can take it from them if you are very particular about that, more on theory aspects. So generally, what we say is, as I have an internal communication with me, that brings the confidence. If I am confident in communication process, the words are different. The feelings are more positive. Expressions are very tremendous. If you are not feeling okay or not confident, all the communication, tone, voice, everything changes. But generally, how do we communicate with us? If you are more confident, how you have to bring the confidence? The basic thing is you should realize about yourself first. What is there to realize here? First and foremost point is you are unique. That you have to understand. If you feel that you are unique, no doubt your performance are extraordinary. You are not an ordinary person. Extraordinary person. Why? Sir, do I believe this? Yes, of course. Because the friends assembled here all are having some ability, caliber, potential, capabilities, and abilities, all that. Without this, there is no person. Everybody has got all this. How many people have understood? That is the most important thing. If you understood the way in which you express your words and express your feelings are entirely different. Right? So we have got a lot of factors involved in communications. Right? So first and foremost, are we utilizing all our resources? Resources means all our ability, caliber, potential, capabilities. Are we using it? Right? Generally, anybody you are entering the organization, corporate, people ask, "How are you?" Mostly 95% they say, "Okay, yeah, hello, yeah." Only 3 to 5% only they say, "Very good, excellent. Today is a wonderful day." Right? There are one more challenges are there. If you say wonderful day, who is the person who is asking, he will put into more lot of problems. So you have to say that today is a wonderful day. Basic concept of telling good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night. What is the purpose? It is not that good morning to others. It is not that wishing others. You are internally communicating to your system, your thought process, that day, that morning should be a good morning. That's a mantra you give it to and communicate to internal systems. Same thing, everything. But people have changed the entire scenario. They think that they are selling good morning, just giving respect to others. No, not at all. So every time, how many number of times you say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, it happens good morning to you. But in temple, there is a statue only, stone only, but they keep on chanting mantra, it becomes powerful. A stone gets power, yeah, why not a human being? Good powers. So keep telling, communicate, that is most. It's not a motivating session, but it's still then this way you have to communicate every day. And the people will say, sir, if I say it will happen, yes, it happens. But when you should happen, when you should think that when you suggest, it happens. Suggest the word itself, it's a psychology called hypnotism, mesmerism. You are mesmerizing your system. How do you give auto suggestion to your system to be more effective the whole day? Think about it. So that is what keep telling. But generally you all know about it. When if you say it happens as it is, you all will agree with me, friends. During Brahma Muhurtam, if you start planning and directing, the whole day it start doing good. Brahma Muhurtam means 3:30 to 5 o'clock morning. People say there's a midnight, sir. That's not midnight. But nature has got a clock that start opening by 3:30 in the morning. So you are supposed to get up every day between 3:30 to 5. You keep it any time is convenient. If you get up around 4:30, like me, then it is okay. Then you start giving suggestions and planning, all that. Once you put into a system, it start working. You need not concentrate. So that is the right time to put the suggestions. Because that time your mind is very blank, and whatever you say, it gets suggested. And the environment is very silent. And your body and physically, mentally, or you are equipped. And yesterday's influence would have been reduced. So all that is there. So how do we go with this? So this is the one kind of things overcoming everyday problem during your communications. Once you put your planning in the morning itself, and what I'm going to do the whole day, just put a flashback and say that today is a good day for me. Everything will be keeping good. That's all. Going on very good. That's the only message you give. Automatically, it gets communicated to everybody. Right? Earlier days, a lot of king. So many kings, our past history. They dedicated a lot of things for us. Why they built more temples than school and other? Because when you go inside the temple in the beginning, it should be a big temple. You have to walk, then go inside the sanctuary. So where the god or goddess inside they kept, that room will be very small. That room will be very small. It can accommodate only 10 to 20 people. But being our population, we go inside 50 people. So what happens? The inside, the available oxygen will be reduced. So your active mind will not be more active inside because lack of reduced oxygen level. So what purpose you went inside to think about, or I want to ask the God either about your professional promotion or your competition success or your family life, whatever you have, go with one idea. All the other extra activities are reduced. Only one is there, then you talk to them. So once you put that message to the God or goddess standing as a statue, what happens? You know very well when they erected the god or goddess statue, they put 5 metals below the statue. So what happens when you think and apply or put request to the God, it just gives telegram, and it gives message to the topmost part of the temple tower. That metal it goes and reach. From there, it reaches the person whom you want or what you want. All that will go to Cosmo. Then from Cosmo, it reaches the person or the situations. So this is a basic process of a temple. And emergency meeting or during crisis, then you have to assemble in a best place. It's also there. And food, supply of food. So these are the purpose. But when we are talking about the relevant topics, we can take it as a best communication skills, which is happening there in our lifetime. It's not just simply talking to others and just leaving. No. When you talk, it should have the impact on others. You should influence others. When you want to influence others, first you should, I always say it is subjective. Communicative skill is subjective. How I am handling. If I talk, people will listen. Yes, definitely they will listen. They are supposed to. How I am with the confident. Confident means what? What is the knowledge you got about your own self? Say, for example, our brain has got two parts, right part and left part. Some people look at me in different ways. Sir, I have only one brain, now you say two brain. Yes, science says the fact is this. The right part of the brain takes care of the left part of the body. The left part of the brain takes care of the right part of the body. Imagine. This does 19 function, this does 19 function. Right? Think about it.
Sir?
So how do we go about it? Yes.
Sir, excuse me. Sir, are you presenting, sir? Because your PPT is not visible.
No, I have not presented. I'm explaining before I go for presentation.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. That was for confirmation, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, very good, very good. All the participants are seeing me. Is it visible to them?
Yes, sir. Your face is visible, but the PPT was not visible. That's why I asked for confirmation.
PPT I have not shown because before I show the PPT, I would see the background. So all that. So how do we go about it? On the personally, if I am organized inside, then I can able to communicate. The brain has got one particular function called cognitive function. Cognitive function means what? Intelligence, memory, thinking, reasoning, attention, concentration, decision making, problem solving. All these 8 functions are called, clubbed together, called cognitive function. If you know about your brain and mind, the way in which you talk itself, it varies. The way in which you express, voice modulation, everything. That means you are confident. So how do we know about the cognitive functions? Are they intact or not? Let us go for a simple demo. Just listen and do what I say. Okay? All of you prepared? Keep your both hands are free and do what I say. Just raise your hands up, touch index and thumb, bring it down, keep it near the mouth. Just look at it. How many of them keep it near the mouth? Is it your mouth? Think about it. We know very well in our face where is the mouth, where is eyes. But I know how to distract you. This is a distraction. You may find fault with me. Sir, you said mouth, by mistakenly you kept it near the eyes, no? Who are all keeping the fingers like me near the eyes, they are all right brain dominated person. If anybody kept the fingers near the mouth, they are all called left brain dominated person. So here the instruction is message is given to us. Only we use only one part of the brain. If you use both part of the brain, your communication system is handled different. Think about it. So all these things are before we go for all communication theory and everything, we have to put this information clubbed together and utilize your communication skill effectively. Think about it. Even I would like to say one more demo I'll give you, try from your place. Just keep straight off your right leg. Keep straight when you're sitting. Keep straight your right leg, keep straight. Rotate clockwise. Rotate clockwise. At the same time, you write number 6 on with your right hand. Write number 6 with your right hand. Try both are at the same time, simultaneously. Mostly you don't get. Very few may get it because of practice. It's possible. They say it's not possible. No. Impossible is a word itself called I am possible. Trend changed. When our period it was possible, impossible, different meaning. Now you have got same meaning. Same way when we were like your age, we had a success and failure. Two words are there. Now the failure word has been changed as a challenge or experience. Either anything you do, either you get success or you get, if not success, definitely you'll get an experience or challenges you have faced. So here, the same way, are you using the both part of the brain? You can go to Google search, ask for right brain activity, left brain activity or functions. It shows different things. So if you practice everything, automatically you can able to do or communicate better way. Right? So all this, which you have to understand, basically that's called psychologically. There are three aspects are there. Physical aspects, then psychological aspects, then about social cultural aspects. So all these three, already it has been what it has been inbuilt in the system. Accordingly, you communicate with others. Right? From our childhood, lot of messages have been inbuilt, fixed. It's called mindset. Right? I don't know how many of you here can able to understand Tamil. Madam, Gayatri Madam, all they know Tamil or only very limited they know Tamil?
Sir, English, sir?
Only English.
Yes, sir. English would be good.
Yeah, that is good, I know, but there are people, anybody not able to understand Tamil?
No idea. I'm not sure of that.
Okay, very good, thank you. So what happens in Tamil, there's a reason some people say, வெள்ளையா இருந்தா பொய் சொல்ல மாட்டான். That means a person is a fair color, he will not tell lie. So like that, there is a lot of messages from our childhood has been input, it has been influenced in your system. That's called mindset. How your mindset is there, accordingly you will talk, you will communicate. Think about it. Even when you, before you talk, you just look at them, you are communicating more than about 40 messages to them. Without talking, without even uttering a single word, single letter, you communicate to others 40 messages to others. Sir, what, sir, without talking, how? I will give you an example like this. Can anyone of in your team can able to judge a character of a person by seeing the face? It was in our earlier, all our forefathers, our frontiers have used it. There's a field called parapsychology, reading, mind reading, or sometimes you call samudrayalechanam.com. If you go inside, it is there. Where I have learned, I was whole thing, UG, PG, PhD, I did only in psychology, but there are different fields called parapsychology. When I realized it, when I went to panel member for UPSC interview, there I should not ask question. The way in which candidate enters the examination, the interview hall, personality test hall, then how he sits, how he stand, what is body language, how he respond, how many seconds he takes about responding the question, the UPSC aspirants, then how do they go out of the personality test hall? With that, I have to give mark. So for that, I went to www.samudrayalechanam.com. There I've learned your face shows 40 characteristics. But there is one more thing is, if the person, opposite person could be able to read only, he will understand about it. Otherwise, no use. We don't want to go for, because lack of time, I don't want to go for all the 40 signs from your face. How do you communicate about you? How do you tell about your character? Or you can able to identify other person character. Let me go for one or two. One, if they got a broad forehead, they are a broad thinking person, not a narrow-minded person. Number two, there is a lot of wrinkles or shrinking or lines on your forehead. More number of or linkage, it shows that you are more overthinking person. Right? And the hairs on your eyebrows, it grows in between the eyebrows. You are a critical person. right? When you look at the others, you look at them eye-to-eye contact, maintain eye-to-eye contact, automatically you are saying that you are trustworthy person. Big nose, talented person is field. Even the big nose also like a rocket coming down, landing. They are called highly talented people in their field, like Indira Gandhi, Nehru, G.V.Kumar, Gandhi, Rajiv, then about our Rajini, all just look at them. And if they maintain a smile in their face, very socialized person. Right? I hope this is enough. But my request is don't apply in the house or in your office. Even if you got two friends, that two also will become enemy to you. Think about it. So this is how it all goes. Let me finish with only one more idea. Ears. If it is normal, no problem. The ears are protruding out. He's always curious to know about others, other person. So mostly if you go for journalists or media people, they'll be like that. So these are the common things which you have to first communicating with your face. When you are creating a first impression, people say, no, first impression is the best impression. So when you look at others itself, it has to give a positive impact on others. So about another 34 messages are there, which I don't want to confuse you more on the limited time. But anyhow, you just apply and tell me, and I have given my mobile number is there, my email ID is there. If you know anything more than that, you teach me, I will try to learn. Because in the communicative skills, there are only three possibilities. Learn, unlearn, then relearn. You learn something, which you go and express. That present scenario is not able to match that what you have learned. Forget. And you have to relearn something which is survival, which is required for survival, that you have to learn it. This is how it all. Even in a developing language also, right? We give much importance for the language. It is only way of communication. It does not even sometimes it does not require language at all. Only in certain places it requires. Otherwise, non-verbal you can communicate. How the child talks to the parents. How the pregnant mother communicates to the child, the fetus. Once the child comes out, the communication part is entirely different. How the mother communicates with the fetus. The child is inside the womb. How do they communicate? That is called cognitive communications. Whatever she thinks, it just influences the fetus. Let me ask one simple question, basic question. When a parent can talk to the child, which stage? Imagine. From 91 days onwards, the child starts listening what the outside environment talks, it receives. Think about it. So all these things, if you have in your mind, automatically, even if you want to utter a single word or single letter, you will give much more importance. When you give much more importance, automatically it will give impact to the person whom you want to communicate. Right? So I wanted to go with some basic of communication. What is where the word, Latin word, common to share, right? And what the purpose? What is the process? It is giving information, attitudes, ideas, beliefs, understanding. Even here, I always used to say that attitude determines your altitude. It decides about your progress. Attitude is entirely different, right? So it's all we learned one. It's acquired after the birth, right? So how do the ideas and belief system has happened. From your own family, micro level, macro level, everybody has given information about something, so that has started having a belief system built. So on that belief, we just communicate. For here, I would like to always say that the two things not exist. All know about it. God and ghost, 2G. But still, it has been inbuilt in our system. Belief has been developed that I am from the more religious family. So it has been inbuilt in my system. Yes, for everything, without him, nothing has happened. That message is strongly inbuilt for belief. Same way ghost, nobody has seen the ghost. For argument's sake, we may say, he has seen that person, has seen this one. No? Right? So all that beliefs, everything happens how it goes. The process is, the purpose is understanding. Why we have to communicate? What I feel, what I think, that I want to make them others to understand that. Right? So the degree to which intended understanding develops. How do we understand others? That creates. If I like somebody, I will listen to their words very carefully. I'll give weightage. I used to tell all my clients, all my clientele institutions, the child does not like the subject because of the teacher. Imagine. Both have to understand. And generally in management science, MBA, what they say, employees are willing, they are like their management, but they don't like the managers, so they leave. Right? Turn on. So how do we interact with another? Otherwise, the human being will become isolation. Human being cannot stay alone. There you got a personality thoughts is there. Right? How do we exchange your thoughts and feelings? Only through communication. Right? Some people are there, they don't talk to others at all. Some people are there, they cannot keep quiet like me. If you make me inside or lock in one room for 2-3 days, I'll become mad. Now 50%, then I'll become 100%. Right? So these are some people may like it, some people may not like it. That later we'll talk about on personality style, how do they communicate. Right? So it is called to inform what you feel or persuade to influence and achieve the desired outcomes. So it is meetings, reports, accounting, clerical, all this requires various communication activities. Right? So when we compare to the blood in the human system, like this, they've got different context. So definitely the flow of communication is not top to bottom, bottom to top, or horizontal, or vertical, or circle. Whatever the way, it is not properly reaching. A boss says it's not coming down to the employee level. There is the boss communication becomes standstill, right? So all these are model, right? So where the source comes, encoding means you talk, then some through channel it goes, and the person receiver decoding it, and the receiver. This is how the process is there, Shannon model, right? So then about after that end, after the receiver received, he gives something on feedback, right? So these are all communication, right? So there are IPR, intrapersonal and interpersonal. Intra means, already I told you in the beginning itself, me with myself. Inter means me with others. Right? But understanding me with myself is very difficult. If anybody asks you to talk about others in your team, you'll talk for more than a year. Suppose your person asks talk about you, you are not able to talk not more than half an hour. So knowing ourselves is very, very difficult. Right? So intra, me with myself, inter, me with others, group in a team, or mass, more than. How do you communicate? Sometimes we know very well. If anybody has got experience of coming the first time to the stage, you know everything about the subject which you want to deliver to the populations or the audience. But though we know, we are scared to stand on the stage and communicate what I know. What is required? Some guts. If you crosses one stage, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore stage like me, automatically whatever I can able to say, I can able to say very boldly and confidently I can express it. So that is because of the situations. Everything is related to two aspects. Right? One is called hereditary, the second is called the environment. Nature, nurture. Hereditary, it comes some communication skill to us from our forefathers and all the gene. But the environment gives. Right? So all these things are which creates things. What are the types of communications are there? Right? One is downward and upward, horizontal, diagonal, external, all that. It depends upon your internal and external customers in the organizations, all that. So when it will be is clear in the downward communications, your instructions are clear, important points are repeated, bypass formal communication channel. Important points are repeated, you could have heard somebody reading a poem which they have written. Some of the words are effective words, they repeat once or twice. Right? So in horizontal communication, atmosphere should be open, trust is created. Teams, when somebody undergoes strike, when we feel sorry for others. Yeah.
Sir, excuse me, the connection has been interrupted, sir. 1 second, sir.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Kindly wait, sir. Kindly wait. Sir, you can continue now, sir.
Thank you, thank you. As I told you, the way in which how do you perceive things. Here you are seeing one picture on the screen. How many of your team, now our friends team, could able to see a young girl and also a old lady, which Tamil சொன்னா சூனியக்கார கிழவி. Anybody see both? Mostly they see only the young girl. They don't see the old one. Right? So if you want to convince others, you go to their level. Otherwise, you cannot able to convince them. How you can able to convince? Anybody here would like to say how many faces you see? You see both? Can you respond? Is it possible to respond in our system? Gayatri madam?
Yes, sir.
How many people
Sir,
can able to see both? Any response?
Participants, you can post your answer in the chat box. Sir, I can only see the young girl, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, what is in the chat box? Chat box, any response? No. Okay, right. Anyhow, we'll go, not wasting our time. Right. How you can see is, mostly I told you they see only young girl. For an old lady, the same features you are looking in different way. How you are looking at different way? The cheek of the young one will become the big nose of the old lady. Cheek of the young one will become the big nose of the old lady. The necklace in the young girl which she is wearing become the teethless mouth of the old lady. Is a longing jaw. Then ear of the young one will become the eye of the old lady. And she's putting some cloth on her head, mukkadu, partha. And there is a winter, they put wool on the shoulder. If you look at that way, you can see the young, old also. Still, if you are not able to convince, whatever I communicate, if you are not able to convince, go to the second slide. Earlier one was a drawing, this one was a photo. By seeing the photo, can you able to identify young and old? Still, if you are not convinced, go to the third slide. Here you could see three faces. This is a young girl, this is an old lady, and a big nose and mustache tata, old man. Forget the big nose and mustache. See this one. You can see the first slide of young and old. Clear? Now you could be able to understand. Madam, Gayatri madam. Now you see both, or still you see only young, only one? Are you convinced?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So still we go for one or two slides, only one more slide. This is a rose plant. This is a rose plant. But you could see, apart from the rose plant, you could see the couple, male and female. This is a male face. This is a female face. You have to look at that idea, put in the mind that a male giving kiss to the female neck. Then automatically you can able to figure out both gender. Anybody? Would you be able to see both? Able to see or not able to see? Hello. Gayatri madam.
Yes, sir. Able to see.
Terida?
Sir.
Terida?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, very good. Right. Okay. So, what it shows, the visual has got more impact than the auditory. Anything you want to go to their level and you impress them, then automatically they can able to understand things better manner. So these are all everything inclusive of cognitive functions. Right? So then about your established and everyone knows this channel. What block in communications can happen? Right? Information, unhealthy work culture, all that. So these are the way, as I told you, you are communicating to others without using the words. It's called non-verbal communications. Right? So eye contact, posture, gestures, dress, appearance, voice, vocal variety, then about language, non-words, listener involvement, and humor. Right? The nature self. So some circumstances during lunch, wherever you have an opportunity to talk to them, you have to. Right? Humor will come only out of your experience. In Chennai, no problem. Right? Chennai, no problem. There are two kinds of clubs will teach you how to keep yourself smiling. One is called laughter club. The 10 people are there, they stand in the round circle manner, and one person laughs very loud. Everybody start copying him. Called laughter club. Humor's club, somebody will cut a joke, share a joke, everybody should enjoy the joke. There you cannot keep yourself gem. Gem means ginger eating monkey. You have to smile or laugh. So major barriers, we judge others, we evaluate others, approve or disapprove of the other person or the group. Right? Barriers, individual values, beliefs, attitudes. Ego, what is the state of the mind? Right? If you go to transaction analysis, in a Google search, you will be able to know about either in the child ego or adult ego or parent ego. If you understand what ego they stand, you can accordingly can change yourself. Right? So that's how you have to change your transaction analysis. Subjectivity and selectivity. What you can talk, what you should not talk. Where to talk, where not to talk. That's most important. எங்க பேசணுமோ அங்க பேசணும், எங்க பேசக்கூடாது அங்க பேசவே கூடாது. They say no, between the couple, when you want to overcome the fight, you have to maintain 2 years. One is silence, other one is smile. 2 years. Right? So, major complaints to my clinic is people are often marital counseling when they come. It's not because of the big problem. It's only a small problem can be overcome by both of them if they agree. Right? So listen with understanding, clarity in expressions, healthy self-concept, coping behavior, then authenticity. So healthy self-concept, if you feel that yes, you are good, and you're always good with others, if you think that automatically your communication is good. Right? You know very well there is gender, there is no difference. And if you take for example, the gifted person is gender is female. Sir, why you are supporting, sir? Yes, of course you have to understand. You have to accept certain things. Right? They live longer than the male. I'm giving you, I've got 100 points, but I'll tell you 1 or 2 points. They live longer than the male. Imagine. So if the person who is going to live longer, you have to listen to them. What's the point in getting angry, tense, then go see earlier, right? And they compromise a lot during the marriage than the male, right? There are so many things. They verbally fluent. Female are verbally fluent than the male. Female are good at intuitions. What is intuition? They can able to predict what comes in the future. So I got another 96 points. So you should understand further, listen to them, and with understanding, automatically, what you want to clear when you express. If you are very clear, then automatically can able to go, right? So talk the initiative, work at listening, focus your attention on ideas, hold your outburst, keep an open mind, analyze what is being said, evaluate the content but not the person. Always, whenever they report to my mental counseling center, I tell them, target the issue, don't target the person. Right? If you target the person, your communications end it different, automatically puts in the problem. Target the issue, automatically both will come to resolve how the issue can be solved. Right? So more on psychological. So provide unbiased informations. Give you unbiased information what? From our childhood, something has been information fed into a system about the gender, about the wife, about the mother-in-law. Right? Nowadays, children, the young girl, bride, asking in the advertisement when they are seeking the alliance for their marriage. The boy should earn, have own flat and car, but no old furnitures. I didn't understand this word. Then I asked my professor, he told old furniture means you are a parent. They don't want that. Right? And basically, there is a strained relationship with daughter-in-law, mother-in-law. You know why? Because of the possession, because of the possessive nature, because of the love. If you understand this, automatically both can get along very easily. Right? You may say that, you may state to other people, this is what my opinion. It may be right, may not be right, but you should know how to accept it. So what is your need? Because need-based everything. Share your feelings and give clear decisions. Seek information, explore criticism, be flexible, criticize constructively, compliment. Right? So dealing with aggression, how you have to do. Dealing with the non-response, how you have to do. Then about dealing with the egoism, what you should do. Dealing with the underminer, what you should do. Right? So these are the 10 commandments of the effective communication. Right? Clarify your ideas, objectives before you communicate. I always tell the people, you are acting. Do act in a better way. நடிக்கிறோம் நல்லா நடிச்சிட்டு போங்க. Because life is a drama stage. You have been given one character. Act according to the character. That's all. So systematically analyze. Examine the true purpose. Right? Consider the total physical and human settings. And consult with others when appropriate. Use opportunities when it arises to convey. Pay attention to your body language. Follow up your communications. Communicate for today as well as for tomorrow. Be sure your action supports your communications. Right? So best wishes to be an effective communicator and an effective solution-oriented executives. Right? So this is how I would like to go with this. I have been presented a plan for about 1 hour. So it is over in that. And if it is anything required on mentally, if you want to add some of the factors, and I got some of the communication games are involved, but we don't have a time to go for a game. So now I leave the floor for any questions or any queries. But my humble presentation is very simple. Be an effective communicator. That means go to the level of empathetically to the person whom you want to communicate. It could be a child, or it could be an old man, it could be a spouse, whoever it is. So suppose you're coming from the office, you're coming out of the car, you see there about 2.5 year child peeping out from your house. Smiling face, very cute and charming face. You cannot go in, stand in front of the child and say, I'm the vice president of this whole organization. What the child will react? Get lost, bloody fellow, go to your organization. There you have to change immediately your role, either as a father or a grandfather or a friend, whatever it is. If you are not changing, even the way in which you communicate to the others, automatically it may not be reach everyone. So in this, the common thing is the world will not change. You have to change according to the world. Say, before you communicate, understand others automatically. Your communication should be a more effective one. So this is what I would like to say. And psychologically, and anything you want to, mentally, if you prepare yourself, you are always reachable by the you will be reached by the others very easily. That means you are not constructing a wall. Better construct a bridge between you and others. For that, you should be in a better position. You should be in a psychologically, you should be in a better way. Automatically, you can communicate, reach very easily with others. And you should be mentally determined person. Right? Don't have a lot of unwanted information which is given by others. You try to understand and you talk to them. Right? Otherwise, I told you, you are maintaining either smile or silence. Okay? So I would like to go with only 3 mantra, what you have to approach. 1 mantra, just for today. Right? What you talked about yesterday, you cannot change. What you're going to talk tomorrow, you cannot change. Right? But what is you are talking now, that's going to determine about yourself and about your career, about your everything. Why do they conduct the interview? They know about your marks, they know the score, what are the awards, everything they know. Theory is there, proof is there. Then why do you want to continue interview? How do you respond? It's not react. If you react, you are unfit to be an executive. So you have to respond. Right? When the question is asked with a panel member, you should understand from their stage, from their stand. Right? I give them IAS coaching, those who opt psychology subjects. They come after the interview, they share the questions asked in the personality test room. One question I was laughing for 2-3 days after hearing this. The question asked by the panel member, which state, the Bay of Bengal, which state? I could not able to answer. Then after 2-3 minutes, everybody was telling something, Bay of Bengal, all that, no? What the panel expected, it's a liquid state. It's not solid or gas, it's a liquid state. So somebody is asking some question, means he is with the intention he is asking. You have to understand their intention. For that, first you have to be in a position to understand the intention. Otherwise, no use in answering. It's $1 million answer. So think about, so just for today, what you communicate now, are you in the present in that words? Are you living in that world? And you should think that that's not hurting others. That is most important. 2, all for good. Whatever you talk is good, only you talk. That composite. Then you are without stress, as I told you should know how to cry, or at least you should know how to laugh. If you do both, you are stress free and your communication is effective and it's just very easy. With a limited time, though I got more number of slides, but with the limited time, I don't bore you much. So I presented it, and thanks for the opportunity given by our organizer and publishers, and the editor, and the whole team, and the chairman and the vice chairman, and all the secretary, and whoever is there, they have prepared these presentations for giving an opportunity. So I should thank one and all, and I'm expecting your response, not the reaction, the response as a feedback in the chat box or into my mail or mobile. And thank you so much. Thank you. Madam, is it okay? Guys, madam, time is up, or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want me to continue? Very good. So thank you so much. Great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful thing.
So any feedback? No? Question?
Sir, the feedback link is being posted in the chat box. As of now, we don't have any questions.
Okay, you collect and send it to me. And thanks. So let me disconnect. Madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.